Hello, today we're taking a look at Ontraport. Ontraport is a automated all-in-one business solution tools that you're going to need to drive measurable results and keep all of your business data from customer information and more all integrated in one place. So we're going to be going ahead and demoing Ontraport today. We're going to show you some of the key features and just how Ontraport is useful, because this is something that provides tools from landing page creators, email marketing tools, sales platforms, affiliates, CRM, and just so much more. So with that, let's go ahead and dive in. So the first thing you're presented with when you log into Ontraport is your metrics dashboard. And this allows you to see all of your metrics regarding your site. So you can see things like your new contacts, stuff like email sent through the Entra emails program. So if you have a newsletter or anything like that, subscribers, sales, basically just an overview of all your statistics in one place, and you can customize this to your liking so you get everything all in one view with your statistics. Now, the first tab you're going to come up to here is your contacts tab. This will show you all of your contacts that you have under your business, so you can actually define these by group. You can see if I was to click on a specific contact here, I have options to see things like their tasks, tags, sequences, Facebook, so on and so forth here. And again, I can click on the contact to get all of their information pulled up here and agree to fill all of that out as needed. And then I can fill all of that out as needed here. And you can see you can add sequences, contact tags, you can add notes and tasks here if they have any purchases. You can see their memberships, referral info, and more. Really great for customers because, again, if you see any coupons or who they were referred by, for example, all of that can be integrated here. If you want to integrate a partner program or some sort of referral program for your website, that can be all handled again through here. So basically all the information regarding your customers or contacts would be placed under your contacts tab. Now, furthermore, if you go under the contacts tab, you have a couple options here. First up is sequences. Now, sequences are basically autoresponders. You can think of sequences as a series of steps your users will have to take once they, for example, subscribe and sign up to your site. Once they become a contact, a sequence can then be triggered. So you have two types of sequences. A step sequence, which, again, the first step triggers the event, and then they will follow on to the next one. So let's say they sign up and become a contact, and then a sequence gets triggered. Or a date sequence. This gets triggered at a specific time or interval. So for example, if I was to create a step sequence, I can create it via email, SMS, task, postcard, rules, or more. And this just allows me to integrate a series of steps. So if I wanted an email to be sent out as soon as this step gets triggered, I can go ahead and do that. I can fill out the email here. I can put the from address. I can put the email subject and then a sample email. Now, an idea that this would be useful for example, is like a welcome email. So let's say people sign up to your site or they join and create an account. You can have a step sequence happen to trigger off. So as soon as they sign up, they get, the first step is that they get emailed a welcome email, and then you can have a task, for example, be triggered for your employees to remind them to do something since somebody signed up, or what have you. You can think of sequences, again, as an autoresponder. And if you ever have any questions about what something is in regards to something you're looking at on Ontraport, the I in the bottom right is always a really great place to go to because it'll give you information regarding what is on this page. So for example, again, sequences are a series of step-by-step actions or a contact is taken through based on a specific schedule. Now, if you were to do, for example, a date sequence, you can have it triggered at a specific time. So another good example of this, for example, is to send it at, every year, on a specific event. For example, a really good idea for this is birthdays. So let's say you have users who sign up to your website and they put their birthday information under their contact. Now you can have it set to send them an email every time it's their birthday, so once a year, and I'll send them a birthday email, which is a really nice touch for your customers. It goes that extra length and, shows that you actually care. And again, by setting something like this, you can, again, put that and automate it. And again, it's just a nice little touch on the customer service side of things. So sequences, again, series of steps that are automatically triggered based on a certain date or event, like them signing up. That's what a sequence is. Now, a rule is a little bit different, and a rule is a trigger, essentially. So if this happens, then what? That is what a rule is. So for example, if I was to add a trigger, I can do it for a series of things. If somebody opens an email, if somebody purchases a product, for example. Let's go with that one. If somebody was to purchase a product, and then we can, have a product here. We'll just say any product here. What happens? And then you can add a condition. A condition is an optional step that you can put, but basically it means if this happens, so if they purchase a product and this thing happens to be true, so the condition can be, they spend a specific amount of money on a product. If they have a specific tag, if they, for example, were subscribed to a sequence before or after a specific date, then this happens. So you can have if, scenarios where if this happens and this is also true, then, what events triggers. Again, I'm not going to add a condition in this case, but the action would be, again, what you choose. So what is the outcome of them purchasing a product? I can have somebody be notified with an email, so you can get notifications anytime you sell product. I can have it send out an email. I can have it update, something like an SMS message, update somebody. I can have it, pause subscription to a sequence. So for example, like let's say you have a sequence that says email a customer like new products every time until they purchase something. Well, I can have this trigger. So that's me setting up a sequence, having it email them every week, for example, about new products that we're releasing. I can have those emails stop or pause after they purchase a product. So it triggers after they purchase a product. And that's how you would use rules. You can have triggers essentially. And again, this is just based off purchases. There's all sorts of triggers you can set up. If they open a specific email, what happens? If they visit a specific page, or if they, for example, get a refund on a product, then what do we want to happen? We might want somebody to be notified so that, we can figure out what next steps are and, figure out what went wrong. These are all really great, ways to use the rules. But again, that's just depending on how you want to set that up. You also have other options like forms. If you want to build a landing page, you want to build a form on that, of course, and that's something we're going to go into in a second here. But basically, OntraForm, they have their own system you can use to build that out. Smart forms as well for a more technical crowd. We'll touch base on that in a little bit when we set up, the actual landing page. And then you have messages that you can craft out. Like I said, if you want to send a message, whether it's SMS, postcards, tasks for your staff, you can send messages to your staff, and or just professional email templates like newsletters. Ontramail actually supports that. So again, worth checking that out because again, everything is just integrated all in one place. Now, we also have tasks. Tasks are essentially things that get triggered by sequences or what have you. This is a really great way for you to set up follow-ups or reminders for your staff. So for example, like if somebody purchases a product, you can have a reminder to be set up to, log the purchase, or set up a reminder to call a lead if somebody didn't purchase a product. These are really great ways for you to keep track of, who has assigned to a specific task and, when that's assigned, the date due, date complete, all of that information here. Your sales information, of course, is all integrated in one place, so you can see your products. If you want to add products, if you're selling physical things, you can add the name and price here. From there, you can also do things like view your reports, and you get all detailed reports here. So customer value, shipping collected, taxes collected, open orders. If you have some sort of subscription service, you can see all of that information. Again, all easy to track in one place. And you can also create upsell forms. These are really great if you're looking to promote specific packages. So let's say you have people buying one thing, but if they, spend an additional $20 or whatever it may be, they can get, X package. That's what an upsell is. It's trying to get them to buy a more expensive package or product. And you can, really customize this here. So for example, you add the payment gateway, you add the buttons here, and you can add a confirmation page, all of that. So you would add the product and then go ahead and create that upsell form for you to go ahead and implement to your website. Your partners will show programs and commissions. So this is your partner program. If you want to do some sort of referral program, very easy to set up here. Sites, we'll go into this very briefly here. And last but not least, your tracking. This is just more detailed reports. So you can track by campaign, you can track by lead source, by medium, by content. Basically, if you want to set up a new tracking URL and see how that's performing, if you want to get more in-depth results on how specific things are doing within your business, this is the place to do it. Now, next up, I want to talk about projects. In the bottom right, under the About button for a page, you'll see a Projects button, and this is really useful when it comes to Ontraport because this shows you everything that essentially not only just the things that can be done with Ontraport, but it shows you everything in terms of like a step-by-step guide. Think of this as a recipe on how to do certain things within Ontraport. So if you click on Find More Projects, for example, you can see just an example of multiple things that can be done via Ontraport. And as you can see here, once the projects load, you can see you have multiple projects in different categories. So there's projects for publishing, marketing, selling, and organizing, and they're all color-coded here. And this just gives you an example of things that can be done via Ontraport for your business. So for example, if you want to look at how to create an Ontra form, if you want to find out how to create personal web pages with P URLs, deliver new content through membership sites over time, capture lead info with Facebook Connect, host a webinar. These are all things that are possible with Ontraport. And with the projects, what's really useful is it gives you a step-by-step tutorial almost on how to do it. So for example, let's say I want to do this, create an Ontraport landing page, which I'm going to be showcasing here. I just simply click on this and it's giving me the project description here. And I simply click on add project, and then from there it's now in my projects menu, and anytime I go into my projects here, it's going to go ahead and show up. And what that does is once I click into that here, it gives me my to-do list of all the things I need to do to create an OntraPage landing page. So for example, I get started with OntraPage. It shows me how to navigate here. You can see I follow the instructions, go to landing page, and it gives you step-by-step visual tutorial here on how to get to where you need to go. So if you're completely new to Ontraport, you definitely want to go and check out projects, because it's basically a recipe, step-by-step recipe on how to do really key things like setting up newsletters, creating partner programs. Really, really helpful resource when using Ontraport. So in this case, you can see here it's telling me to select a template, start editing and create content, edit my blocks. And as I do these steps here, when I go back here, you'll see that at the very beginning it checks off the items here, so it checks off that step, and then it lets me do things like form settings, adding Ontra forms onto OntraPage, and then of course publishing the site. And you can see you can manually just check these things as you do them as well. So if you get ahead a step or you know a certain step, you can just simply check off your to-do list here as you go along and click into things for the more information you want. And speaking of this project, let's go ahead and actually showcase how you would go about creating this very project right here. How would I create a landing page? So let's create a OntraPage landing page. So the first thing we're going to do, like it said, we're going to go up here to sites and we're going to go ahead and click on landing pages. As you can see here, I had a test one that I set up earlier. I'm going to go ahead and click on new landing page here. We're using OntraPages. This is Ontraport's essentially their website template and designer here. It's a really great WYSIWYG editor. What you see is what you get. But you do have options to go into things like code mode if you'd like. So the first step to creating your OntraPage is selecting your template or theme here from Ontraport. And they have a lot of different themes you can choose from, and you can of course sort by the categories here on the left. In this case, I'm going to view by type, and specifically a content delivery template is what I'm looking for. If you want to start from scratch, you can do that, but personally I like this leather theme, so I'm going to go ahead and use this one right here. And again, the aim here is to show you how to use OntraPage, but also create something. If I was to create a landing page that had an ebook opt-in of some sort, how I would set that up here. So first and foremost, you have your WYSIWYG editor. What you see is what you get. This is exactly what your site will look like here for the most part, and you can go ahead and edit the elements very simply, as you see here, by hovering over the specific blocks on the site. You can see I'll highlight what you're editing and then give you those options. So you have, of course, the edit button, which will simply allow you to edit the elements within that block. So I can say welcome to the workshop, for example, and I'll adjust the site as needed in the image. I can go ahead and hit save here on the left. You can adjust the button, subheader text, so on and so forth. But when you're done here on the left, you just click done. And then outside of that, you have the option to, of course, change certain elements of the block here if you want to. So if you want to change the block's color theme here, you can easily do that. If you want to change or duplicate the block, I should say, you can do that as well, or outright delete the block. Now, the add block feature allows you to add a block above the current block you're highlighted on, or add a block below, so it allows you to position a block easier. And then the next or previous buttons on the side here allow you to see the different styles of that specific element. So if you want to see different styles of what it would look like in that, form, you can go ahead and do that as needed here. So you can see, I can look at all the different elements here and just kind of pick the one that I think fits my site best. Now on the left here, this shows you all the blocks on the page, and this will show you them in chronological order so that you can rearrange them as needed. So think of it as, the ability to sort here on the left. If you highlight it, you can just drag and drop, and that will put that in that position. So if you want that block first, second, third, however you want to organize your site, this is how you would go ahead and rearrange it easily here on the left. On that same menu, you can also delete a block and or choose to just hide the visibility. So if you just kind of want to see what something looks like without a certain element but not necessarily delete it, you can do that there as well. Now the top here allows you to add features, or I should say edit features throughout the site. So page font, the color, page width, page background. So these are site-wide changes that you can make on the top nav bar here. You can even do split testing, which is really nice if you want to kind of test out different different looks on the site or different versions. And then of course you have your settings button in the top right, which allows you to do site-wide settings like custom code and so on. Now, let's talk about adding a block here. In this case, we're going to talk about some specific blocks that you can add, for example, for an Optin ebook. So you have all sorts of different blocks that you can add, of course. There's countdown timers, coupon offers, even custom HTML blocks if you want to add some code in there. There's no shortage of block types that you can use to create your site here. Now, in this case, I'm going to focus on the button one right here. This is really useful for things like getting a download link for an ebook on your site. So if you want somebody to sign up for a free ebook, or the smart form, which we're going to show how you can set up opt-in forms with that. In this case, with the button one, I'm going to go ahead and choose a button here. In this case, I like the simple one that says click here to join, and you can see here positioned it at the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and drag that a little bit towards the top here, right about there. And then I'm going to choose to edit it. So first, I'm going to go ahead and change the text. So I'm going to say click here to grab your free ebook, for example. So we'll make that all caps since everything else is caps there. And you can, of course, bold the text, italics, so on and so forth. And we'll say that. And then here's the part that you can change when it comes to a basic button. Where it says link URL here, you're going to go ahead and click on that. And you have a couple different options. Of course, you can have them click on the link and it'll take them, or click on the button and it'll take them to another page or URL. However, you can just do an Ontraport hosted file. So if you have the PDF ebook, you can just go ahead and hit Ontraport hosted file and hit select file, and then have them directly download it. So you can say, click here to grab your free ebook, and then they automatically download it. That's a real great way to get directly to your, viewer. Otherwise, you can use something like a OntraForm Lightbox. This is a form that they would fill out, and it would submit their information, and then you get things like their email, first name, last name, and then you can set up some sort of, sequence or what have you, so that it, sends them a ebook, or you can, have them on a list that you can distribute out to. Really useful for things like newsletters as well. So if you want to do this, you would have to create a new form. You can see I have some forms here that I already set up, and I'll show you how to create one in a second. For this purpose, I'm just going to go ahead and pick a previous form I set up and hit OK here. Again, you can have them directly download a file if you have the file already, or have them fill out a form. Depends on how you want to, have your customer or viewer opt in and get the content. Now, another option that you can do this with is a smart form button here. So if I was to click on the smart form, adding a new button here, you can see these are similar buttons. These just have a little bit more options here. So for example, if I want to do, let's go ahead and go with this one right here that just says first name, last name, email, and I'm going to actually adjust this form on the smart form here. This is really useful, again, for things like newsletters, or if you're, again, just trying to have them opt in for something here. I'm going to put this one right under the button here. I think it's a good position so we can just kind of show both. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to edit this. I'm going to remove on the form, I'm going to remove the email form here because I'm going to have that pop up in the lightbox. So they just submit their first name and last name. And I'm going to click on form settings here, and you can see this is an opt-in box. So this, you have a couple options. With a single opt-in, as soon as they enter their information, it can send them to a thank you page. It can send them to a landing page. It can send them to a custom URL. Or in this case, I can have a pop-up OntraForm showcase as well. And I'm going to go ahead and show you how you create an OntraForm here. You just hit create new OntraForm and just give it a name. So I'll say testing in this case. And we'll create a new form here so you can see what it looks like. And just like the templates itself, they have different themes. So you can get a form depending on however you want it to look. In this case, I'm going to go with WhizBang here. This is a free one that I like. And then you can customize it. So in this case, since they're already submitting their first name and last name, I probably don't want them to have to submit that again. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that here. So I'm going to go ahead and delete those. And then I'm going to edit the text here at the top and just say, enter your email to get your free ebook, and it's that simple. So that's, all I want to edit there. I'm going to go ahead and maybe change the block color here to black and save it. Hit done on the form. Hit save on the top right. And just like that, it's going to go ahead and enter that form here. I can go ahead and now use that form in my pop-up OntraForm Lightbox for my opt-in here. So I'll hit save, hit done here, and those are just two different ways to kind of do it here. So again, you have the simple directly have them click the button and get the file right away method through the button, or take them through a form. However you want to do it, the Smartbox opt-in form, a basic button here, it's completely up to you. And you also even have the option in the general settings to have a pop-up Lightbox, prompt your user on scroll or time. So for example, if you want a Lightbox to pop up, when they scroll 45% through the page, or even a couple seconds, or even when they try to exit the page. So if you want to, kind of have them, let's say they're checking out your site and you want them to, right away be promoted with the free ebook, you can set this up, and we'll go ahead and showcase this here. So I'll say display after 2 seconds here. You can change the interval of how many times it does this for a user so it doesn't nag them. And we'll hit save here. Actually, we'll select the form first, and then we'll hit save. And then from there, what we're going to do here is go ahead and publish the page. So once your website is all set up on OntraPage here, you simply name the page in the top left here. So I'll say testing ABC. And then we're going to go ahead and publish it here. Now, when it comes to publishing, you have two options of the domain. You can either use their subdomains that they offer you through Ontraport. So for example, this will be testing ABC. I'll select the domain, pages.ontraport.net. That's fine with me. And from there, you can also enter like a subdomain or a slash domain, or you can use their own domain, your own domain, if you have it hosted elsewhere, if you've purchased through another provider. I'm going to hit save and publish here. It's going to save my page. And with that, let's go ahead and show you what the page looks like live. So here we are at the live page, and as you can see, after 2 seconds, we get prompted with that Lightbox that I set up here. And again, this can be any template you choose, but this is how you do it on a site-wide basis. But of course, as we scroll down here, you can see you have the option to see our buttons here. If I hit click to grab your free ebook, that will pop up a form. Or if you choose to have that, automatically download a PDF, you can set that up as well, which is really useful. And an opt-in form would look something like this. So if they were to put in something like, their first name, last name, and I hit submit, and then I just want to get their email here through a different form, this is the last step, the opt-in form here. You say enter your email to get your free ebook. Of course, you can make that, much more simpler. It just depends on how you want to set that up. The Smart Form gives you a lot of different options. Really great for things like newsletters or what have you. And again, you have the simple button that allows them to get directly to their content or to a Lightbox form. So you have a lot of different options when it comes to OntraPages and setting up those opt-ins, whether it's for an ebook, newsletter, or what have you. But you can see here, really simple and really easy to set up a website with OntraPages. So that's OntraPages. Again, really easy, real great way to build a website. And again, if you were doing something like that ebook delivery funnel, that's a big step in the actual project. So that would mean, I created the landing page here and I can publish it. And that's just, another step complete on the project there. And again, that integrates all those different tools like we talked about. That integrates the landing page, that integrates things like the newsletter and through sequences. And then you can track all of that information. You can track things like, the people who sign up to your website and the opt-in email. And then from there, you can set up like a sequence or rule so that once they sign up to your newsletter, they automatically get that ebook. So again, that's an idea of just how we piece all of those stuff together with the ebook delivery funnel system using sequences, OntraPages, following that project, and then, connecting all of those in between. So keep in mind, Ontraport offers multiple plans for you to go ahead and check out here. You have your basic plan, which starts at $79 a month. That gives you access to 1,000 contacts. So that can be, if you're starting out, you have a small customer base, that's unlimited emails and one user. You also have the most popular one, which is the Pro, $297 a month, 25,000 contacts, 100,000 emails a month, 2 users, and 2 hours of account setup. And last but not least, a team account, $597 a month, 100,000 contacts, 100,000 emails a month, 10 users, and 2 hours of account setup, along with a free Postmaster review. So again, find the plan that's best for you. Find the plan that fits your business needs best. If you're just doing it like solo, if you have a business established and you have a team that you want to build, behind, then again, go with a team account. And of course, keep in mind, all your purchases are guaranteed by 90-day money. And of course, keep in mind that you have a 90-day money-back guarantee, so your decision to sign up for Ontraport is always backed up, risk-free. And as you see, as you scroll down here, you get a further breakdown of just what the plans offer in terms of features. So, for example, if you want like the powerful marketing automation, if you want the two-way SMS automation and all that, most of these plans, whether it's the basic or the team, will offer you that. It's when you get into things like if you want custom reporting dashboard, if you want automated task management, accepting online payments, of course, which is really important if you're selling product, affiliate or partner management. So if you have some sort of revenue share program there, that's not available in the basic plan. Again, you can see kind of what is offered here. Video hosting, file hosting is integrated there across the board, but other things like lead scoring, IMAP integration, custom objects are not available, again, in that basic plan, and you have certain limitations within that. So again, take a look at the feature list comparison, see again which works for you, and see in terms of pricing too what is best. You can keep in mind you do have add-ons, so if you need more volume for specific customers, or you have a lot of clients coming in, emails being sent out, then you can always add those on as needed. And again, if it doesn't work for you, you can always go to the top right here of your account and click on account here, and you automatically have the option to go ahead and cancel if you need to. So if you just want to go ahead and cancel your account and it doesn't work for you, then no questions asked, you can close your account very easily here. So that all said, if you are starting a business and you want all your tools in one place, your marketing tools like your email marketing, your newsletters, you want the ability to create landing pages or even a WordPress site, integrate like a partner program, really consider checking out Ontraport because it has all of those tools in one place, and it makes it super easy for you to go ahead and set all those up. It makes it easy for your team to manage it, and of course, keep track of your customers, your sales, everything all under one roof. Be sure to click on our link down below to try and or buy Ontraport. Thanks for watching.